Hi there, welcome back. In this video, we will talk about the grammar portion of the SAT test. This is where the questions will be all multiple choice. You will be tested on each of the following categories. Subject-verb disagreement. You will not be tested on trimming the sentences, but trimming the sentences is a very nice way of identifying a subject and verb. Parallelism error, comparison error. And these two are somewhat related. Pronoun antecedent disagreement, pronoun case, dangling and misplaced participles, other misplaced modifiers, tricky sentences, idiom errors, diction errors, other modifier problems, irregular verbs, subjunctive mood, and coordinating ideas. So, in this video, I would like to talk about subject-verb disagreement and see if we can use the idea of trimming the sentences to help us identify subject and verb. Verb is the most important part of a sentence, and to spot it, it is important to trim your sentence and expose the verb. The thing that does the verb is called the subject, and the object is what receives the verb. For example, when David approached the first base, the coach waved him home. David is the subject and approached is the verb, and first base is the object. Coach is the subject, waved is the verb, and him is the object. The verb must agree in number. Subject-verb disagreement is one of the most common errors in SAT. Here is a list of tricky singulars and plurals. First of all, verbs that follow subject of the form either A or B and neither A nor B must agree with the subject B, the noun closer to the verb. Phrases like Sam and Bob are plural, but phrases like Sam in addition to Bob are singular. Phrases that start as well as, together with, along with, or in addition to are interrupters, which are not part of the main subject. These words are singular. Each, anyone, anybody, anything, another, neither, either, every, everyone, someone, no one, somebody, everything, little, and much. To check for subject-verb disagreement, you can replace any of them with it. These words are plural. Phenomena, singular for phenomena is phenomenon. Media, singular is medium. Data, singular is datum. And criteria, singular is criteria. To check for subject-verb disagreement, you can replace any of them with they. All of the following can be either singular or plural according to the noun that follows the of. None of, any of, some of, most of, more of, and all of. The next thing I want to talk about is inverted sentences. You have to be aware that usually subject comes before the verb. In inverted clauses, the subject is after the verb, and usually inverted clauses will start with there are or there is. For example, there are many flies in the barn. This is the inverted one, because you see the verb is here and the subject comes after the verb. The uninverted form of the very same sentence would be many flies are in the barn. This is uninverted because the subject comes before the verb. Both are correct, and you just have to be careful of identifying your subject and verb by noting if the sentences are inverted or not inverted. I'd like you to pause the video. I'll give you 30 seconds to identify if the following is singular or plural. So here goes the timer. Good, the time is up, and let's go ahead and discuss this. Neither rain nor snow is singular. Crowd of rowdy fans. This is a prepositional phrase that can be trimmed out, and it is singular. Media is plural. Criterion is singular. One or two is plural. Everything is singular. Either of the candidates is not part of it. Either is singular. Phenomena is plural. Okay, I want you to work with me on identifying the subject and the correct verb. So here, of the cars is trimmed out. Neither is the subject. And neither is singular, so neither is equipped with anti-lock brakes. The flock of geese can be trimmed out. The flock is the subject. Was is the correct verb. The flock was startled by the shotgun blast. Data is the subject, and it's plural. So the data on my computer were completely erased when the power failed. Mathematics and history are both subjects. Are is the correct verb, my favorite subjects. None of the roast, of the roast is a prepositional phrase. You need to trim that out. And none is the subject. None was singular. All of the games. All is the subject. And since we're talking about plural here, you will pick were as your verb. Pride and Prejudice is the subject, and the verb is, it's only one book, so it is my favorite. Only one novel here. So neither of the twins is or are allergic to penicillin. Neither is the subject. Neither is. Much of what I hear in those lectures, much is the subject. Much, singular, so much goes in one ear and out the other. Amy, along with Jamie and Jen. So Amy is the subject. Is the verb. None of the books, so we will pick were. All of the eggplant was used to make the sauce. Amid the lilies and wildflowers was one solitary rose, so it's was. Either Ben or his brothers, and the one that's closer to the verb is the one we're going to use, so we want to say are. If it was either his brothers or Ben, then we would pick is. There is or are hardly even a speck of dirt left on the carpet. Is. It's a singular. Stop right there. Shout or shouts, the Bailey brothers. It's shout, the Bailey brothers, who are standing in front of me. Either the Donovans or Dave, singular, so we will pick is. Going to the, either the Donovans or Dave is going to bring the plates. There is or are at least 100 people there. People is the subject. Are, there are 100. I want you to pause the video and identify the verb and the subject. And identify if the sentence is correct. If it's not correct, you need to fix this. I'm not going to time you, but I would suggest you take about 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes. Write the sentences down in your notebook, identify the subject, identify the verb, and decide if the sentence is correct. If it's not correct, you need to correct it. Okay, let's get started. Okay, let's go ahead and see how you did. So here it says, we were horrified to discover that there was more than 3 mice living in the attic. We is the subject and we were, then that works. The second subject is mice, which is plural, so we need to fix the verb. The mice were. Either the president or one of her aides are. Change the are to is. Because one is singular, so we want to change the are to is. I tried to trim out some unnecessary words here. The original sentence was, there is nearly always 2 or 3 guards posted at each entrance. So there are 2 or 3 guards, that's plural. So that means that the verb is has to be changed to are. Every player on both the Falcons and the Rockets is unnecessary. We trimmed it out. So every player were or was. You want to change the word to was because every player is singular at the party after the game. There has been a theater and a toy store in the mall ever since it opened. Theater and a toy store is the subject. It's plural, so it should say there have been a theater and a toy store. Either Eric or his brother is hosting the party this year. Brother is the subject. You could almost trim either Eric or out because it's what is closest to the verb is what we're going to consider. So brother is singular. So brother is hosting the party and it's correct as is. There is no fewer than 6 crayons. Crayons is the subject. And it's plural. So I want to change is to are. The therapy can resume. The therapy is the subject here. Can is the verb and it's correct as is in this part here. As planned because neither of the twins are or is allergic. Neither is singular. Neither is the subject. You could trim out the prepositional phrase here. The proceeds from the sale of every auctioned item, I trimmed that out so I can expose my subject and verb. Proceeds is the subject and it's plural, so the verb goes has to be changed to go. Economics, particularly with the dependence on the behavior of consumers and producers. I can trim the whole thing out. Economics has or economics have. It's singular, so economics has is fine. I have exposed my subject and my verb by trimming out unnecessary phrases and clauses, and I identified this as correct as is. Okay, I have another 7 for you to try. Pause the video, please, write out the sentences, identify subjects and verb, trim out if necessary, and correct if necessary. Okay, let's go through this one here. The original statement was there is more than 3 years remaining on her contract. The subject is years and it's plural, so you want to change is to are. Neither of the girls, neither is singular, only if it's written as of the girls. So I want you to look at question 16. It is not the same as question 12. Question 16 is neither the children nor their parents. So here, the parents would be the subject. And therefore, because it's closest to the verb. So let's go back to 12. Neither of the girls can be trimmed out in this situation. So neither is the subject, it's singular. So the verb should be changed to was. The technology, and here I'm showing some trimming behind the high definition television, DVDs, CDs, have or has the technology have transformed or the technology has. It's singular, so we want to change have to has. Every player on both teams, so we probably could trim out on both teams here. Every is the subject here, so every player was concerned about the goalie's injury. The company's sponsorship of charitable foundation and mentorship programs have garnered many commendations from philanthropic organizations. So let's go ahead and trim some of the stuff out so that we can expose our subjects and verb. The subject is sponsorship, which is singular. So we have to change have to has. I talked about 16 already. In this situation, it is not neither of their, but it is neither the children nor their. So whichever word is closest to the verb is the one that we're going to take as our subject. So parents utter a word when Mrs. Danny is another subject here, tells her stories, and this is correct as is. Finally, How important is your strength training and your diet to your daily regimen? So your subject is plural. It is both strength training and diet. So we want to change is to are. Okay, very good. I would like you to rerun the video. If you have not paused the video and done these exercises on your own, I think you should. I'll see you again. Goodbye. Thanks for listening.